Live from the East Coast, gateway to the fifth dimension, this is Interstellar Radio with Ivan Teller.
Well, greetings, everyone. Over here, Interstellar, figuring out how to work this. As I'm talking, I hear myself. Greetings to those that are on the highway at this time, going from work or leaving, whatever you call it. Still trying to get this operation operating well. So far, it's not going so good, but that's okay. All right, this is a kind of out of the. This is call it a recap of the week. Of course, news-wise, I have not really watched it that closely because it gives me a headache. Probably I'm not alone in that regard. But there is YouTube is going through some, I believe always been going through some kind of censorship that I don't think even YouTube is fully aware. And not to say we need to address it, but there is AI forces at work that I don't think there is people in general at YouTube or have the time for it, but I believe there's other anomalies working on that. As for suppression, I have no idea if this is even live to the rest of the world. Today is actually the end of the world. Depends on who you're talking to. It's going really well, isn't it? I guess it depends on what part of the world you are experiencing the end of the world. I guess every day is the end of the world, depending on where you are. So, for tonight, we connect to the energies of the planet and see what we get. Now, I'm going to be on YouTube tonight at probably 11 o'clock, but this is going to be, it won't be live. It will be a pre-recorded. So, but for this, I'm still getting out the kinks, and I thought I had it all figured out before I went live, but apparently not. But either way, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Now, I was going to go through some of the headlines, but every time I go there, I get hit by like 300 ads. So we'll just do what we can. Hopefully this is going. The links are sent out to Facebook and somewhere else. One, it's Egypt. Let's see, unearthed mysteries of Egypt in the dunes of California. So of course, I'm bombarded with 100 ads trying to look at this, but a piece of Egypt is in California. It's around the Santa Barbara area. So if you look up Egypt, California, most likely you'll be able to find it. It's quite fascinating there. So, and right now Yosemite is not looking too good. I don't know if I can do a search on that. Yosemite. It's now it's like clearing energies. Gosh, I can't spell that for anything. But yeah, especially California is going through, you can say, type of a purge. Now, realize that this episode is brought to you by the fifth dimension. YouTube is brought to you by the fourth dimension. But this is the fifth dimension. Of course, it's not always easy to see that it's brought to you by the fifth dimension. But basically, the idea is to look at our environment a little bit differently and realize everyone has powers, everybody has guides, everybody's connected to their own universe somewhere in multiple universes. And of course, this talk isn't part of the mainstream. It's about what I bought today and what I did at work. So this broadcast is to, unlock prison minds that are in a prison. Of course, when especially in certain areas of the alternative media, there's a lot of drama. Drama brings up views and brings up a lifestyle. I guess it brings identity. Well, we are going into the new version of Earth. And that new version of Earth is where people become more aware of their spirit guides, your angels, your aliens, your higher self, whatever it might be, to unlock the daily grind of this existence. For us to basically take a problem and heal it in a way where we don't have, ideas to heal depression. Won't be perfect. It takes time. But yes, this earth is under a negative influence, of course. You can call it reptilians. You can also look at it from a different point of view, as these are our teachers, beating the crap out of us, basically. And for us to finally see what's going on. And of course, the mainstream thinking is that we must see it to believe it. But yet, this is coming from a culture that does not believe in its own vibration, does not recognize the soul. It is not part of the mainstream. And so you can break out of the third dimensional shell is, of course. Now, we're being messaged through literature and music. You say movies, but literature also, of course, is to wake us up. It is up to us to choose to look at life differently. Of course, you look at Netflix and it has all, and well, that's an easy target because it's it has a lot of these superhero shows and all that. But what's funny is that I was just listening to the origins of some of these superheroes, and I didn't realize that some of them, they come from Atlantis. Of course, the Aquaman that's coming out, the movie is coming out at the end of the year, and that is Atlantis. There's Namor, I believe he's connected to Atlantis. That's part of the Marvel comics. But we call it the X-Men. That's in comics. And that, their origin, now they're mutants, they have these special powers, they can turn themselves into fire, they can levitate, they have telepathy. You have Professor X, he's always uses telepathic abilities. And where a lot of this the origins of all of this is Atlantis. It's even in the comics. Lemuria is mentioned also. And your mainstream human, at least the way humans think, this is all just, not real, and, the same old talk. But you might want to think again about that. Of course, as I'm talking, I'm trying to get this thing to work properly, but maybe not. As I'm talking, I hear myself, and it's very distracting, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to fix that here at this time. That's very odd. So, all right. So let's see. Facebook went through a lot this week. Not that it matters. It's not going anywhere. They might try to get rid of the CEO of Facebook, possibly. They were doing us all a favor, but nothing. AI eventually is going to take over that company. I mean, Zuckerberg is pretty much an AI being as it is. He's not really that human. I mean, you don't have to be alien. You don't have to believe in any of this stuff. When you look at Mark Zuckerberg, he's the CEO of Facebook, he does not look human. He's human, but he does come from another place. And of course, his mannerisms are very robotic. That's very Zeta. He's like, that's a perfect person to put out there. It's like, if you want, to wake people up, well, of course, it's still up to them. A lot of them don't want to wake up at all. That's pretty obvious. But our direction is to, all the signs are everywhere. It's just, do you want to see it or not? And most don't want to see it. I'm not sure why. Well, they're not ready for it, but how long can you be not ready for it? I mean, when is that? What's the fun in that? I'm still trying to fix this thing. For some reason when I'm talking to it, I hear myself in the headphones, and I should not be hearing myself in the headphones. The only thing I should be hearing is the music. But as I talk, I still hear myself. Anyways. Well, nothing's perfect. I'll have to play with that later. So this was all unexpected, this broadcast here. Some of this is rehashing the old connections. But realize, this is not in the mainstream thinking. The mainstream thinking is materialism, work, and some kind of relationship situation. Realize also many are trying to figure out the relationships at this time and they already use their intuitive abilities, but the idea is to truly connect to it, where it becomes the mainstream thinking that you can connect to vibrations. Basically, we're going out of body. Not now, but in the future we will be. So that's the plan. Basically, we're going to more of a spirit vibration. This physical is going to fade out eventually. And so some are saying, oh, we don't believe in aliens. When they start contacting, we're still, basically. It's funny, it's like, they say, oh, we haven't been contacted. But yet when people start talking about all this, they say, oh, that's not real. It's like, it just gets, it's like whatever you say. It's just, it's kind of funny when I think about it. So the human awakening, when is that going to occur? Trust me, if I knew, I would. There's a lot of factors in that. It's like, when are your belief systems going to release the physical way of looking at things? It's basically, like the mainstream media eventually is going to find itself out of business eventually, and more the alternative will take over. Not soon enough, of course. I'm still hearing myself. I guess this is not working right. I'm not supposed to hear myself when I talk. But where we are heading is the new Earth. How that works is with our thinking. It's not easy to think differently, especially when taught a certain way. Parents have been taught a certain way of thinking. But it's all in our face. It's just whenever you feel like paying attention a little bit more, there's nothing to be afraid of. So I'm still playing with this as I talk. I don't know what's going on here. Pardon me, I'm trying to throw my computer out the window. It's actually the speaker program it's acting up. So, if you need to find more information about who I am, it's ivanteller.com. I also have another site that's connected to the radio show. Of course, I don't have it. I think it's Fifth Dimension Radio, something like that. I don't remember. But you go to ivanteller.com, that's be enough. That would be okay as it is. But basically, where humanity is going slowly, as you can see, is into the new. Because some realize that how far can 3D, this reality, go? It's like, are all the ideas worn out, or is this, it's always the same old, right? Well, you can heal that and move up to the next direction. But it depends on what the next direction is. And that's more of us taking back our power and more of our guides and our energies and our abilities to enhance. Of course, you talk to people, they laugh about it, but yet, how is your world going? I mean, look at all the hatred that's going on for Trump and the mainstream media and politics. It's all just a cesspool, isn't it? Even Hollywood turned into a cesspool. It's all turned into a cesspool. And where is that all getting us anyway? Nowhere? Yeah, pretty much. So, so what is this? Yosemite? Yeah, Yosemite is going through a major purge at this time. And, it'll still be there, but I believe a lot of darkness is being cleared out of it. Not to say it's going to be perfect. But there's a lot of vortexes there. There's a lot of negative energies there. Of course, today is the end of the world. and seeing how we're experiencing the other world at this time, seeing every prediction's been wrong, but yet they still put it in the mainstream media. I guess it gets clicks or some kind of attention. But many of the religions do fully believe in that. And that gets kind of strange when you think about it. How it's the mainstream is pretty much holding on to that energy. Religion is eventually will release itself once. Oh, of course, it's what is it? Anunnaki, Archon mind manipulation going on. Of course, there's much more to it. Some Syrian energies. And basically, it's like those churches have vortexes around them, basically, for mind control. So it's not the easiest to release, because it puts out a lot of fear. Oh, if you think something differently, we're going to put all this fear around it. Isn't it scary to think differently? Isn't it scary that you might go to hell then if you just think away from, you move away from this religion? Because this is what we call spirituality, which it really isn't. It's manipulation. It's not really spirituality. It's just a form of mind control more than anything. So I believe, the future, many are just going to wake up on their own. They're just going to start seeing things differently and look in another direction. While the rest of us are talking about this stuff, seeing it as, like we're a bunch of lunatics. And it's like, we're not trying to be crazy. I'm not trying to, this isn't, accepted very well. But basically, we're going to more of a light body direction, where we connect more with energies and go into the fourth dimension, have flying cars, and we just look at things differently. But many have so much difficulties. It's like they wait for alien contact, and when you bring it to them, then they get all excited. Say it's not here. Well, because the ones that are here, we're here to warm the waters up for it. And people are just not going to be ready. The idea is to prepare people for it. But, I don't know what's going to happen exactly. They give me different scenarios and directions, but basically we are going into a new Earth environment. And that doesn't mean there's going to be major Earth changes or pole shifts at this time. It does seem, now, I could be wrong. They're not giving me 100% on anything, but a lot of it's just, it's a lot of that's on postpone until we shift, until we grow up. We move up the levels. Then the pole shifts will start occurring when we start awakening more. Now the lawmakers that are the politicians, they're part of a lot of them are just vulnerable. They go by the mainstream. They say one thing in public and they believe another. So a lot of them are just going by their political parties and what they're being told because they need a financial stability, such as the Democrats and the Republicans. They both do it. Doesn't mean that's on what they believe in. It means that that's what's bringing them a paycheck, so they're going to say whatever they can. So what about that? So these people go to these political rallies, think they're behind this politician that cares about you, and really all they care about is their job. They only care about keeping a job they only care about their agenda. They don't care about you. And, as long as they're getting, wealthy paychecks or whatever it is, that's all that matters. Of course, they're not going to say that. And even the alien agendas is there, too, quiet. As for technologies being brought in, a few politicians are aware, I believe. Not a whole lot. It's very few. I believe some of them are mainstream, too. I believe I'm getting an image that Newt Gingrich knows something, at least. I'm not sure. Clinton, yes and no. Some of them have an idea, but they don't have the inside scoop. Like Trump, I don't think he has a whole lot of background on it. I don't think that's really his agendas, but I believe it has some kind of knowledge of it, like the Cliff Notes version of it, like the very basic version of it. I seriously doubt that's the mainstream. It's the main thing on his mind at this time. But I believe also they're aware that energy is shifting and where they're going to become more part of our society. Of course, you have Trump that has a huge ego to like to bring the alien environment. So, and the old way of doing things has been healed as basically like a JFK situation where we can avoid that. And also it comes into detail about JFK Jr. And that one I really got stumped on when I connected to that. I believe he's not here, but let me tell you, his energies are very strong. It's as if he's still here. But it does seem like he did die in that wreckage from what I feel, but his vibration is so strong here. Of course, I could be wrong, but, you know, I feel like his energies are still here. Either way. If he did survive it, it's a high possibility, but there's really no evidence of it. But either way, his energies are very strong here. Let's put it that way. If it survived it, it would be a high possibility of it. I mean, it's not that hard, but also there was a target on him, as there is anybody that's into politics, especially you're open-minded, especially at that time. So it's a different story. So it's not the easiest thing to connect to at this moment. I don't feel like channeling him is probably the best idea. I have other connections. Yeah, it does feel like he's on the other side. But let me tell you, his vibration is so strong here, though. It's as if he's here. You know, and of course, when someone crosses over or if they're still here, it's not always the easiest connection to make. So, hopefully, this audio is going out right. Hopefully, this is recording out properly. Because I listen to the speakers, I hear something totally different. I hear myself. For some reason, I can't seem to fix that. Oh well. What does this button do? Nothing. No, that's not a button. Never mind. Alright. Enough of that. Modern technology, gotta love it. Well, with Facebook's going, well, I wouldn't say the deep state is playing with Facebook at this time. They're just pulling their chain a little bit, not entirely, but they are. Eventually a lot of that's going to come into the light of what's going on. What are you going to do? Even if you do know that they're monitoring us, there is an AI energy there, but it's not as strong as Google's, but it's very much alive. Now, like with mentioned YouTube in the beginning, like YouTube's kind of going into like the stupid direction. You know, it's kind of like dumbing itself down. I believe that's also what the elites are doing. They're trying to, you know, make us dumber, basically. So they're promoting mindless entertainment wherever they can get it. So anybody with a vision of a voice, and make it very not the easiest for you to get a following. And whatever it might be. I mean, yeah, a good amount do, but YouTube's mostly promoting mindless entertainment. And yeah, you can say that's normal, but it does seem like it's kind of, it's mindless. It goes mindless. So that's another. It's as we awaken ourselves, we get bombarded by more darkness. It's part of the test. So you're going to definitely see a shift there, especially when you're talking about alien energies. There's a mention about, I was asked to talk about, like when you're trying to talk to somebody about, the metaphysical connections, and people get all angry and get all arrogant and just gun-ho mind control. And it's, because, even my family's the same. I don't bother with my family with this stuff. It's not even worth it. It's because it's worked for them. So seeing anything any differently is just, you're going in the wrong direction. It's really sad, actually. But what's the, how do you deal with that? Well, if they're open, if not mentioned anymore, just play the role of the actor of the third dimensional human, and just let it be. Or find new friends. Yeah, it's not the easiest to talk to family. Family just laugh about all this too. Yet they laugh, but yet look at all the darkness on the world. Look at the poverty that's here. Connecting to metaphysical arts, or however you want to look at it, or energies, there's no harm there. Of course, actually there is. especially when connected to dark entities, and think you're a god. I mean, a real not so friendly god. Let's put it that way. So yeah, there's that. Jesus. So, but that's when you go into like the Merlin, the magic reality, and that is where we're heading. We're heading into the magic way of looking at things. And some, even back in Merlin's time, now they laughed at it. Of course, we're building our energies now. We are reconnecting. Right? I mean, the future was seen as pioneers. Right now, we're just laughed at, basically, at least by the mainstream, at least. But if I would look at the mainstream human, I wouldn't be laughing too much. I mean, what do you have to offer? I mean, other than mind manipulation and repetitiveness, like going to work is repetitive. Everything's so repetitive. It's just, it's like if this isn't a prison, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just, shouldn't life be interesting? I mean, it is interesting. It does have that, but it has a lot of control around it too. And it's just most aren't ready to hear it. They're just enjoying the vacation of third dimension. And life is better in the third dimension. That's true. Because you think you know everything and you have, I don't know what's, I guess, enjoying modern entertainment in some shape or form. But thinking that's all there is to life. There's far more to it. We're not here by ourselves. The aliens have been here forever. It's just we shut it down that they exist, which was part of the gag, you can say, part of the humor of it all. But they're here running the show. Not all are here to suppress us and drive us insane. We're here to learn lessons, and we're here to improve ourselves. And now we are taking back the planet, you can say. And how to do that is to have a more understanding of your timeline, healing your timeline, healing family. It's always going to be challenges, but to overcome those challenges. Not to say we need challenges to grow. So those that are waking up in the metaphysical community, yeah, there's a lot of challenges. Especially those in the metaphysical community that think they know everything. You know, their God or whatever it might be. It's like, geez. So it's like, and they're better than humanity. And then you got that crisis. There's one that does tarot card readings. I'm not going to mention her name, but when she gets on camera, she's all fake. That is not who she is. I know a whole other side, and it's spooky. Yeah, it's very arrogant and just, wow, it's unbelievable. So, yeah, it's so, you could probably pick up on that fakeness too. It's quite a bit of it. It's super happy on camera. It's probably there's more going on there. That's trying to hide. Of course, I guess people are sucking it up. That's fine. It's their direction. But yeah, the idea is to awaken humanity. You can say it most of it is MK Ultra mind control through everything. But there are beings that come through that are to break us out of it. It's just seeing it, believing it is it's not that easy. Yeah, it's just, think about it like you're in some fantasy world, basically. Think of it like you're in a movie. This will make a great movie. There's people on the world that think they're alone in the universe. No alien life anywhere. And yet in another dimension, you have these beings, alien beings, that are watching us. Some are trying to help us and some aren't. And they're watching us like Big Brother, basically. Some are reptilian, some are Martian beings, some are Palladian beings, etc., etc. Some are canines. Yeah, it was just a thing about in the chat room about Dogman appearing. Oh, there's Bigfoot. All these sightings are all real. It's just they don't want you to shoot them, first off. But they do want to wake us up. So these sightings some do get shot, but it's part of our awakening process. I'm not sure if that guy that found a Bigfoot, I'm not sure if that was real or not, but it looked pretty real, but I don't think it was, but who knows. It's still a good gag. But Bigfoot does exist. It's just we gotta wake up because we're hostile. I mean, we want to see Bigfoot. We're walking around with a shotgun. What is that? It's like, yeah, we come in peace. No, we don't. We're not in peace at all. Even if Bigfoot was friendly, want to give us kisses, the human has got a shotgun. What is that? And you wonder why we don't have alien contact. We're the most paranoid planet in the freaking universe. So, and then we talk about aliens, channeling aliens, and then people say it's bad. It's like, geez, it's like a never-ending story here. It's like a broken record. So it's like, yeah, there was a story about, I'm not sure if this is going, hopefully this is going live in some shape or form. About this, I got a message about, what is it, 3 Days of Darkness? That may ascend on Earth. I don't see. I mean, we're already going through darkness. I have to look into that a little bit further. I think we're already going through enough darkness as it is. We need more. I'll have to look into more of that if I remember. So after this broadcast, hopefully it sounds right. I guess I should have did a sound test. There's not really a way of recording without going live, but anyway. Yeah, this is kind of out of nowhere by doing this, which is good. A lot of times it's good just to do things out of nowhere, just on spontaneous. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh well, internet's not so great here. Yeah, there's another thing in Yemen. I bring that up every once in a while. Just once again, I'll mention. Why we here we go. Why we know so little about U.S.-backed war in Yemen. Interesting. How the U.S. is empowering Iran in Yemen. Well, there's more stories about this. There has been in a long time. Yeah, jeez. So yeah, Yemen is a secret war that's going on. At least secret to the United States, at least. You have Fox News and CNN and all this nonsense, and it's never really mentioned. You can say it's a war of the deep state. You can say war against humanity. There's a lot of alien vibrations there. It doesn't mean they have aliens walking around that area. But there's definitely an agenda there they want to take over. Or they want to take over that country, that's for sure, and the Saudis are doing pretty well. And once again, I don't think our president has any power there to get too much involved. The silent war is so strange, and not a word of it is anywhere. I mean, it's like the news has nothing better to do but just basically be repetitive all day long, take nothing and beat it to death, and they're just as crooked as the government. So it's like same people running the government is running our news organizations, giving us like a false, like free speech, giving us it's like voting. It's like giving us a false visual of the real world. Well, it's actually just all orchestrated. It's like a television show right in front of us, basically. It's like you turn on the TV and you're watching theater. Basically, it's like it's more fiction. It might seem real, but it really isn't. Just to keep us. It's like when you're ready to see the real show, connecting within, you'll see more. Now, a lot of it is, reptilian manipulated, but it's not all reptilian. But the mainstream media seems to be mostly reptilian. Well, they feel that they could throw some money at it, and and a lot of people that are in the media, like the news broadcasters, they're weak souls. I mean, they might be strong, willed in some ways, but a lot of them are weak. They only sit behind a desk and just talk all day, basically. What are you doing all day? What are you doing? Not much. So they're easy to manipulate, basically, with money. And that's what you wonder what the existence of money is. Well, that's why it's there for. So to put for the agenda, to fuel the agenda, the black projects. Now, I believe the black projects also fund themselves. They can print their own money. They can find ways around it. But even those it feels like even the shadow government gets manipulated in certain areas for agenda. So it's still, once again, it's manipulation after manipulation. It just goes on and on. And of course, you can't, I mean, it's called a shadow government for a reason. They don't want you, hey, we're over here. Hey, look at us. We're running the world. Yeah, they're not going to, like a secret society. It's secret for a reason. The Club of Rome, the Council on Foreign Relations, you don't hear that being mentioned in the mainstream media because it's running the show. You don't need to pay attention to them. These roundtable groups, there's a whole bunch of them. I think I found a couple others, but either way, I'm not going to go into all of that. But yeah, I mean, it's just so how do you connect? I mean, there's no reason for panic. We are in a alien disclosure time period or timeline. As for when it'll occur, it's still up in the air. But like with channels like Secure Team is going to start seeing more sightings that gives you indication of what's to come. So, and many do watch Secure Team. They don't understand the aliens. They don't understand connecting to them, channeling. Some might, most don't. They just have a wonder. It's like, oh, hi, alien. How are you? It's like, shit. What, I hurt your feelings? Oh, shit. Just, it's just like spirit guides. It's like, or spirits that cross over. Oh, you need to be real quiet with them, be easy with them. Oh, come on. Just talk like a normal person. to spirits that have crossed over, celebrities have crossed over, whoever it is, family member has crossed over. Talk to them like you talk to anybody else. With love would be the best, but, either way, be yourself. Because, these aliens here basically are warming up for our disclosure. Of course, it's not going to happen tomorrow. Well, that'd be nice if it did. You never know. I'm all for it. I'm ready. I think many are ready for it right now, actually. I can't blame you. But, it looks like Elon Musk is going through a lot of mind manipulation at this time. It's not very clear what's going on not at the moment. But there's a lot of there are a lot of beings obviously that don't want him to succeed. There's so many hidden agendas. It's not being all the clearest. I don't fully connect to it, but well, that's interesting. He's one with the Illuminati. I never thought about that. He's a branch of it, at least. That makes a lot of sense. But I think he's part of the positive, and like I say, he's back and forth. That would make sense. He's part of the Illuminati. That would make, that definitely fits in. And wanting to go to Mars to get as far away from Earth as possible, but also to show our potential. And also, I imagine he's aware of the technology that do exist within the shadow government. Energy is not just all talk. This isn't all just, of course it's difficult to prove it, but there are whistleblowers that are well aware. Some people have had dreams about it. I believe it's very real, and it's just that it's not that hard to keep a secret, though. They use technologies, they can brainwash us, they can wipe out our memories, they can do whatever they want. And of course, when people say, I don't believe that, well, that's why you're at the level you are at. Not to say we all can connect to everything, but it will get easier. It's all timing too. It's all part of our timelines. It's not all to happen all at once or awaken all. We got to give it time. It's like nature. We have to let nature take its course. It's just a matter of time. Let's put it, it's more people, of course, people want to awaken, like, the knowledge of JFK, but I believe many have actually reached that truth, though. It's not mainstream, but it finds the mainstream, doesn't it? It goes into the mainstream. Of course, the mainstream is still doubting. They made a movie about it, and so you can get the truth out. Will people believe it's a whole other story? And not to say we'll have a whole truth of it, but still, it's usually right in our face, if you want it. The alien vibrations are definitely here. And it's going to increase over the next few years. We're just getting used to all of this. That's basically we're going into physical contact. When you go into physical contact, it's not something you just jump right into. It's something you ease right into that you get used to, especially upgrading your own vibration to understand how they operate, how they think, how they move. Their culture. It's just basically, it's like saying hello to them, without losing your mind. And many here are more than happy to say hello without getting scared or pulling out a rifle. It's just for the rest of humanity to realize you don't have to do that. When you pick up, like with Bigfoot is helping us with disclosure. But when you have man walking into the forest with a shotgun, it doesn't help you much. But it tells you where we're at. Especially when someone claims they killed a Bigfoot, that doesn't help much either. It's like, wow, look how peaceful humans are. Look at all these dead aliens. It's like, jeez. Wow, go humanity. It's like, what is that? Is this how? I mean, we're worried about the aliens being scary. It's like, you might want to turn that around a little bit. So, this is what we're up against. So when we talk about aliens, I don't have a problem with connecting all this. I know there's people doubting it or jealous or whatever it might be, and that's fine. Okay, I do pick up on that vibration. I'll concentrate on it. But basically, we are going to more of a physical contact with these beings. And humans have to, kind of get over themselves. Get over that old third-dimensional way of looking at life. It's not something you race into, but we're going into a way basically so we can leave this third-dimensional reality, leave the jobs, do a job we want to, leave the economy. It's just one step at a time. And if the Sasquatch are going to help us with that, go for it. Well, they are. They're doing what they can. Obviously they know there's going to be casualties, but obviously we're already going through alien contact. The idea is for us to have a peaceful contact, and for the mainstream human to more accept all of this. They're not giving me. I think I'm saving everything for tonight. There's other connections I want to do, but it feels like my higher self needs to make a audio tonight for many reasons. I'm also going to start doing channel text again. I've been talking about that this weekend. I should have some time to do so. But I'm going to go into that more when I have free time, because my free time's not the best. And of course, I'm doing the radio. And the radio will still continue. I'm working on, if you want to be a guest on the show, please just email me. Just go to ivanteller.com and message me. I'm also going to do an email blast on if anybody wants to be a host. And you can also be anonymous. You don't have to tell anybody who you are. We just give you a fake name or something like that if you want to just tell people what you think or what you feel from the world. You don't have to tell anybody, your identity. That's okay with that. Just, it's nice to hear different points of view. That's what this is about. But, I'm doing a lot of stuff. So much time in the day to do everything. So I'm taking a hiatus off the radio. And that will change over time. Of course, the audio is still kind of, I'm not sure why. I'll have to play with this later. Guess I can play with it. It's very bizarre. Yeah, because when I talk, I hear myself. And it's not shutting off for some reason. It's supposed to. I just want to use the headphones. So I think we're going to wrap this up. I'll be on YouTube around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, depending when I get the video uploaded. There's other topics I was going to go into, but for right now, we'll just keep it light at the moment. Yeah, nobody wants to hear about QAnon anymore. Who cares about that? So, all right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This will be uploaded to YouTube in a few moments. So, blessings. Have a great weekend. And catch you soon.